What is going on, my dudes and dudettes? It's Sonia with Asna Serpentarium, chilling with my my pinstripe right now. She's looking gorgeous as ever, as you can see. Really cool snake. She's a pittenhead pied. Cannot wait until next year or the year after when she's up to size. That'll just be awesome. Fantastic eater as well, and really growing nicely. So guys, the topic of today's video is just going to be, where can I buy my pet snake, or where can I find snakes? So there are a number of different places you can find snakes, and we'll just get straight into it and discuss where your options are, where the best places are to go. We'll talk about in another video what you should look for in a pet snake, just so you're aware of what to look for in a healthy example of a snake, so you don't end up buying a sick animal that is going to cost you hundreds on vet bills or anything like that. And we'll talk about the ways to minimize the risk of buying a snake that's actually unhealthy. So where to buy snakes then? Well, obviously we've got the obvious example of pet shops. Lots of people are against pet shops, especially like the chain ones. Like in the UK we've got Pets at Home. They don't actually sell many snakes, I don't think. One or two of them sell snakes, but not many. And in America you've got things like PetSmart and stuff like that. I don't know what they're like. I've never been into one because I don't live in the States, so I can't comment. Pets at Home, they're not that bad as far as like the enclosures and like the cleanliness and stuff like that, but the staff are not trained very well at all, and that is the problem with Pets at Home, really. It's not too much the enclosures, especially for like rabbits and stuff like that. They do have quite big enclosures, so that isn't my biggest problem. My biggest problem with them is the lack of training, really. Yeah, so that's maybe not a great option, a chain store. There are lots of really good reptile stores about. If you find a good reliable store, then you're laughing. There should be one near you. Just have a look on reviews and chat to people, see what they've got to say about them first. See if anyone's got any horror stories, getting sick animals or anything from there. And if people have got sick animals from there, then move on, look for a different store. There are quite a few good ones by me, but there are some bad ones as well that I wouldn't go near. Some people doing dodgy practices and stuff like that, and I'm not even gonna buy. I'm not putting money in their pocket. It doesn't matter what snake they have there that I want. I'm not putting money in their pocket and risking getting an unhealthy animal, or an animal that's not up to par. So yeah, that's another option for you. Just look for a good one though, okay? There are lots of really brilliant ones. Despite what people say, there are good ones about. I could reel off a list of good ones near me. I say near me, within 2-3 hours, like. So anyway, next place then is actually finding a local breeder. This could actually be somewhat difficult if you're new in the hobby. Facebook and stuff like that don't allow sales posts anymore, so that's made things really difficult. So you can't, if you're not in the know, then it could be difficult to find a breeder in your area. But if you do look, then you will actually find a snake breeder in your area. Depending on what you want, obviously they might be further away or whatever. It really does depend on what sort of snake you're after. If you're after a royal python, or a ball python as we call them in the States, you should have absolutely no issues at all finding a breeder near you. Everyone and their dog breeds royal pythons, so it shouldn't be difficult at all. But you can get them essentially anywhere. It's really not difficult to find a ball python. What might be difficult is finding a specific morph or a specific sex of a morph. Like if you wanted a female banana, they're quite hard to come by. You could always look on Morph Market as well if you're after a royal python or a ball python. They've got lots of reliable sellers there. Everyone gets rated as well as they go along. So you know, you can see it what other people think of them, and from what I understand, anyone that gets bad raps just gets taken straight off there. So as long as they're not a new seller on there, you know, you should be fine there. There are lots of new sellers that are just as trustworthy as the other sellers, but there is more risk involved then, because you always get one or two people creeping in there that are shocking. So there's that option. I believe you can also buy colubrids and stuff like that on there. I really don't know what it's like in the US because I don't live there. I can't comment, but over here you can buy colubrids, boas, anacondas, you know, all sorts on Morph Market. But that probably isn't going to be the best place for variation of species. Really, that is a ball python specialist sort of place to look. You can also get one off Gumtree or Craigslist or Facebook, whatever you know, whatever your thing is. Obviously, it's more difficult to get one off Facebook now, but I'm talking about, you know, second-hand snakes, so to speak. People that want to rehome a snake, you can get one off them. Obviously, there's much more risk involved there. I've seen some absolute numpty selling snakes. You know, people putting up a snake, trying to sell it as a ball python when it's a boa, or you know, mis-selling dwarfs and stuff like that. So you know, you have got to be a bit clued up there on what you're getting and what what are you doing, you silly girl? What are you getting and what they actually look like. Do your own health checks when you go there. Definitely don't buy it without seeing the animal. You know, have a look what sort of environment they actually live in. If it's maybe a bit dodgy, then just walk away and look for something else. It's really not worth the risk. You could end up spending hundreds and hundreds on vet bills, and that's not worth it then, is it? You know what I mean? So just bear that in mind when you go into someone's house to look at a snake, is there are plenty of other snakes available, and don't be afraid to walk away. I've personally gone to many people's houses and just seen one thing that I didn't like, and that's it. That's put me straight off and I've left. You know, I remember not so long ago I went to look at 2 rainbow boas, Brazilian rainbow boas. They were an adult pair, and I actually do a story time on this thinking about it, but basically they had signs of RI, so I just got out of there as quickly as I could. I wasn't going to take on that problem. I did tell the seller that, you know, these snakes have got a respiratory infection, the tank was far too cold, and he just didn't want to know. He really didn't. He wasn't interested in that. Not interested at all. They actually had a light bulb as a heat source, like a light bulb, not a ceramic heat emitter or anything like that, an actual light bulb for your house. You know, absolutely madness. But if I was less clued up, I probably would have gone there and thought everything was fine and bought them, you know. So you have got to keep your eye on the ball with going to people's houses, because there are some really sketchy people about selling snakes. So whatever you decide to do, guys, if you look into all those options, another option would be a rescue. Again, a snake from a rescue. There are plenty of snakes that need rehoming in rescues. I was actually going to put this towards the front of the video, but I thought, well, I've preached enough about rescues. If people don't want to do it, then they won't do it. But I'm not going to leave it out completely, so I thought I'd put it in at the end. There are plenty of snakes that need rescues. Are rescuing hundreds and hundreds of ball pythons. Just make sure you're getting one from a legitimate rescue, okay? And that isn't necessarily an organization. It could be someone, you know, that's just doing it off their own back. But there are a lot of fake rescues out there, and people saying they're rescues when they're really not. They're just selling freebies that they've picked up from Joe down the road. And you know, they're just trying to make money ultimately. You know, these rescues, a lot of them with the fake rescues have never been to a vet. They've never had any health issues. They've never been in a poor, you know, environment. And these people that are selling them as rescues are just trying to make a quick buck. I don't agree with that personally. Okay, I really, it does rub me up the wrong way, taking credit for other people's hard work then. You know, claiming you're a rescue when other people are really going to the ends of the earth to rescue snakes, and then you were just coming along trying to make money and, you know, sort of saying, oh, look at me, look how awesome I am, you know, I'm a saint, I'm rescuing snakes, when the reality is you're just trying to make yourself a quick buck. So that's something to bear in mind, guys. Make sure it is a legitimate rescue. If you're actually getting one from a rescue, it's quite easy to tell normally. A big red flag that it's not a rescue is if they're saying it's a rescue and then they're breeding snakes in a different room or whatever. That's pretty clear then they're only after the money. No legitimate rescue would breed snakes, and the reason for that is they know there's enough that need homes as it is. You might think that's a bit hypocritical of me to breed snakes when I know there's loads that need homes, but at the end of the day I do it for me. I don't do it to sell them. I do it because there's colour patterns and stuff like that that I want that I can't get a hold of because it's just too expensive. And then there's other species that I breed them because there aren't any about, and I believe that they make fantastic pets and they should be more available than what they actually are. So there's a difference there then, isn't it? You know, it's not like I'm trying to make $1 million off it. I'm actually, you know, deep in the hole with this now. I'm talking about, I've spent thousands and thousands of doing this. Thousands, you know, so I'm never going to make that back, and that's fine. You know, I'm not trying to make it back, right? It'd be cool if my breeding projects could pay for, you know, food and electric and stuff like that every year. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's a hobby. Who cares? It's the same as, you know, someone playing golf or something like that. They're not going to make their money back on all the equipment and all the course fees and things like that. You know, it's just a hobby. But I'm starting to ramble on, guys, so I'll cut it short here. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, make sure you subscribe and smash that notifications bell. If you liked the video, make sure you like the video. If you made it this far, you obviously liked this, so I do expect a like from you. Comment down below where you got your first snake from, or if you haven't got your first snake yet, where you plan on getting it from. I'd love to hear from you all. Really active and friendly comment section down below, and I like to promote that and keep that going. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.